That brings us to another point. A lot of you in here with your businesses probably have employees. Is there anybody here that's a small business where it's just you, the whole business? Just very few of you, right? You guys have got it made. You never have to worry about not showing up, right? I think that we need to rely more on our employees, and we need to trust more in our employees. There's kind of a fallacy in our country that probably started back in the industrial age and continues to carry over. And that is kind of that, and I don't want to offend anybody that is a business owner and maybe even has some of these feelings toward their own employees. And honestly, I've been there, and I've felt this way before. They're just to come in, do their job, do what I tell them to do, don't ask questions and leave. But I totally disagree with that concept now. That's something I probably believed when I was in my first business at 25 or 6 years old. We tend to think of employees a lot of times as just kind of lumps. That we just tell them what we need, they do it, and that's the end of the discussion. But I think what a lot of us will find is that employees and co-workers, they have the same dreams, desires, and aspirations as we do. In a lot of cases, you may have people working for you that care a lot more about the success of your business than you actually realize they do. Now, one thing that I've put in Wisdom and Wisecracks for the Aspiring Business Owner is you'll probably never find anyone who cares as much about your business as you do. But when you find anybody that's even close, keep them that way, close. A lot of times we drive people away who could have really served a great benefit for our businesses by simply not listening to their ideas, not taking them seriously, and maybe even, like I said, not even thinking they have any ideas or anything to say. I think that a lot of people, whether they be business owners or managers or our employees, really want three things. And if you can give them these three things, I think you'll find they'll stay with you a long time, and they'll make you some money, and they'll hopefully make your business more successful than it is right now. Those three things are autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And I'll explain that. By autonomy, I mean most people want to know that they are in charge of their own destiny, whether that be completely or somewhat. And there are a lot of different degrees of autonomy, and there are a lot of different people who see it different ways. Some of you want to be totally in control of everything goes on. Now, those people are called control freaks, okay? But a lot of you want to know that you're in charge of your business or the business you work for, and you can take it to that next level, and you know how to do that. Well, I think a lot of us have employees and co-workers and people working around us that can be like a support mechanism for us that feel that same way, but because they're not entrusted with any of those responsibilities to help take the business that way, they're not really feeling like we're giving them that opportunity. By mastery, I mean that we need to know that we're doing something that we can continue to get better and better in. How many of you out there have a hobby? I mean, it could be fishing, softball, driving a race car, pretty much everybody. Okay. Even if it's simply a hobby, would most of you agree that we want to kind of master what it is we do? We want to continue to get better and better at it? Well, business is no different than that. And to your employees, a lot of times, business is no different than that. They want to get better and better and move up the totem pole or make more of a difference. And I think that if we can offer that not only to them, but if we can do that for ourselves, let's assume, just for the sake of assuming, that there may even be some people in here that do work somewhere else and aren't happy with what they're doing. Now, there's something to be said for working, providing for your family, doing things that you have to do. And that's a great work ethic. However, it's probably not going to make you happy, and it's probably not going to continue to work for you to get up and do something every day that's not really what you want to do. So I'll just say this one thing about doing what you want to do. If you're not happy doing what you want to do, then find a way to do what you want to do and to stop doing what you're not happy doing. Because 20 years later, you're going to wish you hadn't. Now, The other thing that we all want is purpose. And by purpose, I mean we want to serve some greater good than what we actually are doing in our day-to-day lives and in our business. We want to know that we kind of made a mark on something, that we put a dent in the universe, and that when we're gone, people will notice that we made this impact and that this service or this product or this achievement was made because we did that. Now I know a lot of you in this room are around my age, just by looking around, or either I'm really not as young as I think I am. But for the ones of you who I look around and see that are probably, mid to late 20s, maybe 30 years old, that probably doesn't mean a whole lot to you. I look back to when I was that age, and at that point it was just providing for 2 kids I already had, putting food on the table, and just making a business, bring in that first dollar even. But as you get older, I promise, and I think a lot of the rest of you in here can attest to this, you really do want to make that difference and put that dent in the world. And even if it's just a company you run. I mean, I'm sure there's things that all of you would like to implement into your businesses so that everybody else involved in that business knows that that level of success that it reached is because of what you did to make it that way. Is there anybody that would disagree with that? Anybody that just kind of wants to float through the world and not do that? Okay, good. So I am talking to the right group of people anyway. I want to let you know also that hate, as much as I hate that word, is not a negative thing if it promotes change. A lot of positive change can come from disliking the way things are done now. I don't even allow my kids to say the word hate in my house. But I tell you, there's a lot of things about businesses I've been in, even companies I've owned, that I really hated and was destined to change because I hated them so much. So if it promotes change, it's okay to feel that way about something. And a lot of times we push those feelings back and we don't actually do anything about it. We almost accept that it's a part of where we work, even if where we work is our place. So I would encourage all of you to do something to make the changes to stop doing what it is that you don't want your business to be doing or that you don't want to be doing in your business. And those changes, well, changes are something that aren't near as hard as we think they are. People talk about change taking a lot of time. I don't believe change takes a lot of time. There may be a lot of steps to changing, but change actually happens in an instant. It happens in the exact instant when we decide to make the change. When you mentally focus yourself on making the decision to go out right now after this meeting and start changing the things you don't like about your company, the things you don't like about yourself, the things you don't like about the people you work with,